Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to evercrisis. I'm going to be talking about Ifrit's very hard fight. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of weapons, a bunch of breakdown, and different teams to use here. Then I'm going to show you the team that I originally beat this with over on my Twitch streams about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to show you guys a play-by-play. That way I'm not showing you the strongest setup at the moment because the setups that are currently right now that we have can destroy Ifrit so quickly. I am going to show you that. I'm just going to show you how I struggled and completed my very first Ifrit very hard. So any questions I can't answer in the video, I will clear up in the description or in the comment section down below. But hopefully something in this video helps you out. So good luck. You got this. So I'm going to do this guide a little bit different than I did Shiva's guide because I know that the more information you guys have, the easier it is. And I want to visually show you everything. So starting off, X sigils. These are the characters that have weapons that are X sigils, and this is very important if you don't know how the mechanic works yet. Take Matt, for example, on his Absolute Royal. He's got a materia slot here where you would put your Ruin Blows or Ruin Materia, and what would happen is that you're able to knock down 5 sigils at once. So if you have a full gauge of your attack stance, plus you have this materia slot, it all equals into 5, right? You get a bonus of +2, plus a stance, and plus its slot. So having a weapon that has X sigil in it is really, really beneficial. And everything I'm about to show you here is the weapons that the characters have that are currently in the game. So you've got Matt, Red 13, Aerith, all 3 of these weapons have it. And then Sephiroth's new weapon and Tifa's pink gloves over here. Aerith is just there again because, you know, there was a 3 slot. So those are the 5 weapons currently in the game that are able to break down X sigil very, very quickly. Now, if you want to break down Diamond Sigil, you can do that. There's currently 3 characters in the game that are able to do this, and this is actually a very good strategy if you're using Lucia, Glenn, or Barret, because their weapons at 5-star, sadly. So you can see here, it doesn't show it, but if I make it a 5-star, it's got the Diamond Sigil. And basically, anything in the game can take down the Diamond Sigil. You don't have to bring in these weapons, but if you do, you make that Hellfire phase so much easier. So Glenn's Rest in Peace, Lucia's Machine Gun over there, and Barrett's Max Ray all have the Diamond Sigil down. Let me show you an example of why this is so important. Alright, so right here is Incinerate. Right now we've got the Sigil Breaker on Barret. So while everyone's doing this, I'm going to go on Barret here and just be focusing the entire time Energy Laser. And you're going to see Diamond Sigil down by 3. Right? Hellfire is halfway there. The whole thing we're trying to do is make it before it's over. Trying to break both of them. So we get hit by the first Hellfire. Totally fine. We'll survive it. And then we go in and we break the last one, and that gives us a whole new DPS phase right here, letting us just go absolutely nuts on this guy, dropping Mana Breach and having a whole moment where he does nothing. We don't have to heal, and we can just go up. I haven't even used my Diamond Dust yet, and you can see how much HP we are already through. So bringing that Diamond Sigil off of one of the weapons, or if you're using Tifa, Glenn, or Barret. So out of curiosity, you saw how far I got into that. This is the team I was using, and I have the level 1 version of this. I was just bringing it in there for that Diamond Sigil break just to get through that phase a little bit easier. So that's how much it can help you if you're struggling during that Hellfire phase to survive. Also, besides the 3 that break diamonds, another big shout out is towards Nameless. Nameless has only 2 ATB cost in order to cast it, which means you can cast 2 of these every 4 compared to the other ones. So at least you get 2 sigil breaks in there for diamond. Even though it's not specifically for the diamond sigil, it still affects it by 1. And since you can cast 2 of them in 4 ATB, that's 2. So you're either doing 3 breaks or 2 breaks, so Nameless works very well there as well. So that covers the X and Diamond Sigil part of the fight. Now let's go into party members that you can use. These are the best healers currently in the game to get you through all this. You can use either of these. You can also bring in just some kind of sub healing from like Cloud's Crystal Sword and other characters has AoE heals. But this is the general idea what you're looking at. Aerith with Fairy Tail, Matt with his, I believe it's called Prime. Yeah, Prime number. And then Tifa with her Lifeguards. So if you can have one of these healers in your team, you're going to have an easier time getting through the healing phase. Yeah, you can probably get away with some characters healing themselves, but you're losing DPS by healing too many single target heals. So you want to bring in one of these AoE healers or one of the DPSs that have sub AoE heals with them. And the best part is that the healers like Tifa, Matt, they have their weapons that break X sigil breaker, right? So you guys can bring in heals while breaking down that X sigil with your main DPS, or if your DPS doesn't have the X sigil, your healer can do it during that phase. So besides the healers, we got support characters, and there's a lot of support characters. These are just examples of ones you can use, and a support character is going to come in, do DPS with your main DPS, but they're going to bring the ability to lower the enemy's attack, lower their defense, provide like a shield. In this fight specifically, Zac is really good to bring in either a physical defense down or a magical defense down. So you have Cutlass or Arc Sword. Barrett's got his W machine for physical defense down, so if Cloud's your main DPS and he's doing physical blows, Blizzard Blow, you want to bring in Barrett's physical defense down. Same thing with the Cutlass over here. And then again, Barrett comes in with 2 packages. He has that Diamond Sigil Break. So you would bring in this Barrett into the fight, W machine and the Sigil Breaker. That way he breaks up 2 things at once. Very, very strong. Then we got Matt. Again, Matt is either your healer / he can bring magic defense down. So if you're using Sephiroth with blizzards instead, he'll lower your blizzard, or sorry, not your blizzard, lower your magic defense down. Also bringing in that X Sigil Breaker weapon like the other characters. Or, as we establish, Matt can do healing as well. So Matt could be your magic defense down with the heals. So it all depends what you have and what you don't have. But again, I have those charts in my Discord if you guys want to check them out. These are all the physical defense down weapons in the game, all the magic defense down weapons in the game, besides Sephiroth's weapons. I have to update it. And the limit breaks off of Tifa and Barrett also lower the enemy's defense down. Somersaults from Tifa, you guys know the drill, right? This is all magic defense ones, physical defense ones. So the point of this is not bringing all these characters, but choose a character that you have and bring them in there to support your main DPS. Now, jumping into the main DPS, the damage dealers. There is a lot of damage dealers out there, and the reason I have these 3 on the screen, because they all have something unique about them that's going to help you with the ice damage specifically. So, starting off with Cloud, and this is like a disclaimer, you can use anyone that you have. You don't have to work on these characters. If you, let's just say you have, I don't know, Red 13 worked on and you have no one else and he's your main DPS, just pump up as much attack into him as you can through materia bonuses, sub weapons, his main weapon, and just bring in a blizzard spell. That considered a DPS. It doesn't have to have this specific weapon. It doesn't have to have this unique ability. Just bring in a very strong stat stick character and they'll do the damage. But these are the unique characters that go above and beyond, making these quests so much easier. Starting off with Cloud. Cloud has 2 weapons that are going to be very, very good for this. Number 1 is the Butterfly Edge, and the reason this is really good, because when you first look at it, you're like, oh, power defense, what? It doesn't even do an attack ability. It's not there for that. It's there because its 3rd slot in materia increases ice ability damage plus 30%. So if you have a good Blizzard Blow physical damage materia for ice damage, this will increase that by 30%. So let's just say you don't have the Murasami Cloud, you don't have a really good strong weapon, but Cloud is there. You can just put this in the main hand and put Ice Blizzard Blow on the 3rd slot, because it has to be on the 3rd slot in order to activate. There is other weapons like this, so look out for them, but you can see right here, on the 3rd slot over here, ice ability damage 30%. So this is where you want to put your Blizzard Blow for Cloud. And then Cloud's 2nd weapon is the Shiva weapon. You can farm this on normal or hard mode over and over and over again. It's going to take you a very long time. So if you got it, you can use it, because a fully maxed out version, or not even fully maxed out, does 430% blizzard damage at 4 ATB. So it's a longer ATB cast because it takes longer to fill that up. But if you have it maxed out, it does 450. If not, you should just be using blizzards and blizzard blows depending on the main DPS. Next up, we have Lucia. And Lucia right now is probably one of the strongest support / main DPS characters when it comes to ice damage. And she's got 2 unique things about her. Number 1 is, again, just like Cloud, the V39 has that 3rd materia slot for 30% ice ability damage up. And so does her new weapon. It also comes a lot more, but again, it has that 30% ice ability damage up. So not only that, the Bald Eagle also brings in ice resist down. So if the enemy's weak to ice like Ifrit, you get even more defense down. So you're going to lower Ifrit's physical or magic defense and then lower his ice resist, and you just do so much damage. And you don't even have to use the ability on here because it isn't an ice ability. You just put Blizzard Blow again on the 3rd slot, and you're going to be doing a ton of damage. So that Blizzard Blow up here is only getting the benefit of 10%, where down here it would get 30% increase from that. So these are very powerful weapons on Lucia, making her one of the big ice damage dealers / support because of that Bald Eagle lowering ice resist. Cloud or any of your DPSs in Sephiroth can do so much more damage. Now Sephiroth is the best ice damage dealer in the game if you currently have him with his costume, because the costume boosts his ice ability damage by 35%. And if you have his new Edge Wings, which also deals ice damage, mine's at 3 copies, 530%. If it wasn't 3 copies, 440%. Really, really bad animation. So you're probably better off using a Blizzard Blow or something. But it also comes with the X Sigil, which in this fight, that's important. So you want to bring in Sephiroth because of that costume and his weapon. You can bring in the Blizzard Blow because he's a magic. And you also have a magic attack buffing weapon in this game, making Sephiroth one of the most powerful Blizzard characters / DPSs currently. So these 3 here aren't the only choices of characters you can bring from main DPS, but they are some of the best when it comes taking down any kind of fire unit that's in your way. So now that we got DPS, we got support out of the way, all the X sigils, all the mechanics, let's talk about a team setup. The number 1 team that I would use, in my opinion, is this team here. Again, Lucia brings in all that extra damage, plus lowering the enemy's ice resist down, which is huge, and she's got the diamond sigil breaker on her offhand. So that way, it's a perfect companion for this or any fire quest that has diamond as well. So very, very powerful. You're bringing in Tifa as your healer with her lifeguards, and you're going to bring in the Kaiser Knuckles that gives you magic defense down, supporting Sephiroth's damage even more. Sephiroth's going to buff himself with his magic sword in the beginning of the fight or every phase that it drops off, and he's just going to do pure ice damage. And you want to bring in Shiva. My Shiva is not maxed out. This is not Diamond Dust, it's Whiteout. And my Shiva board is only like enough to unlock level 5 of Shiva's ability. I did beat Shiva yesterday, so I have level 1 Whiteout. Sorry, not Whiteout, Diamond Dust, but I don't have any other nodes unlocked. So we're not doing more damage because we have a fully completed board. I have like a very less than half completed board done. So you want to bring in minimum level 5 Whiteout, and you can do that just by doing normal mode or hard mode. Not the very hard mode, because that thing's ridiculous, but I have a video on that as well. So this team will take down Ifrit like it's nobody's business. You can probably just leave this on auto and watch this thing melt everything. So this is a very, very good team. Now, the team I'm going to show you is not this one. It's even weaker than all these put together, and I still passed it. These are just examples to kind of wrap your head around what I want to use. And you can mix and match. You can bring in someone who's doing ice damage and bring Lucia. It doesn't have to be Sephiroth. It doesn't have to be Cloud. Whoever has your highest stats and currently has a Blizzard or Blizzard Blow on them. Next one is with this setup. Red 13 is here to support. He's got an X Sigil breaker on his collar over here. He's just going to bring in the Lunatic High, which is a very good limit break. And it's very fast, by the way. It's got a charge speed of 1800. It's not super fast like his other one, but still good. But the benefit here is you're raising your defense and your magic defense up by mid. So when Ifrit's going to do something that's going to try to kill you and you're not really good at surviving because your HP is so low, you use his limit break to protect you right before those big hits like Hellfire or any AoE or Crimson Dive, whatever you're trying to block. Very powerful support character here because he's got a little bit of everything in his kit, including some magic defense down as well. Now we got Cloud as a main DPS. You can use any of those weapons I showed you, Shiva's weapon, the other weapon that has the ice ability plus 30%, or just bring in a heavy Cloud. Because I have Cloud over here, fully built, if you look at his stats, he's got like 20... Okay, well, not right now because I didn't do the equipment properly. But if I do the equipment properly, Cloud goes to like 2500 attack. And just bring in a Blizzard Blow and you're good to go. This is what I mean. A stat stick, DPS, or you bring in a Shiva Blade and that other one for more damage. And then you got your healer, Aerith, who has her Mithril Rod that increases magic defense and physical defense, low tier though. But that might be the difference of your team surviving or not surviving an attack. So having that very big 5 ATB cast can survive in between those big attacks that Ifrit has. Then we got healing, limit break healing, and then anything else. You also have her other sub weapon that breaks X sigil to help you with that phase. So this is another example of just putting a team together. Survivability, support, healing, and just big DPS. That's the general idea that you want to bring in. Now, when it comes to materia, it is bringing in ice materia, right? Ice materia, ice materia, ice materia, blizzard, blizzard, blow. You have to bring in X sigil. So X sigil, X sigil, X sigil, rune rus, either blow or just a normal one for magic. And everything in between is the only one recommendation, because you can bring in stuff that raises a single target's defense up. So you bring in like a mana wall or a barrier, or bring in breach. It's craftable right now if you did the crisis dungeon. And what it does is it lowers the enemy's physical defense down by 1 tier, or there's mana breach that lowers enemies' magic defense down. And you would put that on your support or your healer. The last slot is basically you go in there and you pump up your stats. So I want Cloud to do more damage. I'm going to filter this by physical attack. And I'm not going to have anything else on over here. And that's going to give us at the top the biggest stat stick. So my physical attack is 1,964, 2,000. And then you can kind of mix and match like this. Gives me more HP and attack. So I'll go for this one instead because I go to 5,000. So you're looking for the materia that has that physical attack percentage plus 2%. The game will show you what's your best materia. Doesn't matter what it does. It's a stat stick. It's just in there to give you more stats. So you do that for each character. You're looking for Aerith healing or survivability HP. If you're looking for more support wise, you want to stack HP. If you're looking more DPS, you want to stack that physical or magic. And that's how you build a team. Using all this information, grab what you guys can. It doesn't have to look like my team number 1, team number 2. Just grab your best characters. Key factors are Blizzard, X sigil, and a defense down. Survivability is coming from defense up and healing. Then your main DPS is whatever you got. Shiva is very, very important. That is it. Now let's go in and let's actually look at the fight. All right, so this full clear that I'm going to show you is from like 2 weeks ago. If you guys go on my Twitch channel, you can find any of the fights that I do. It's just hard to find because these are long VODs, like 4 hours, 6 hours. But right over here on September 19th is when I first cleared Ifrit very hard. And I could have done it sooner, but I kind of just left it behind until I needed it. So we're going to look at that fight specifically and what I did there just to show you the mechanics. But everything else team building wise, take what I took in the beginning of this video and use that. You don't have to copy this team specifically. All right, so here in my VOD, you can see I'm going to go through my characters really quickly just to show you what my team setup was, my sub weapons, how much attack Cloud had, right? He had a total of 2,000 attack on him, HP 5,478. This is me just going through my setup and slowly just like, okay, this is better, this is better. I can increase my attack up a little bit more from here. These are all the spells I ended up using. I changed some things around because I think I forgot to bring something. But the general idea of the workout is there. I just want to show you guys my actual characters, right? We have Circle Sigil because of the weapon. That's what Barrett had on. And then I fixed up like Aerith. I don't know if I show my stats here, but we made sure to have the healing costume on for the extra heals. But yeah, that's the general of what my team looked like at 114. Definitely could have done it a little bit lower as well. All right, to start this off, wave 1, you want to click on the enemy and burst 1 down immediately. If you don't, you're going to be dealing with AoE damage off of both of them. They raise their magic attack, so you're either raising your defense and bracing this, having over 4,000 HP, or you burst 1 down, so you only take 1 hit. You can see 2,100 damage, 17 for Cloud, 1938. If you double that with 2 of them, you're probably going to die here or wipe or have 2 characters die. So burst 1 down as fast as possible by clicking on the enemy and killing them. That's all you gotta do in this phase, and then you heal up really quickly and go to the next phase. This is one of those points where some people might struggle. That's your best bet, or raise your defense. Now in the second phase, again, you're gonna click on the enemy, play in semi mode or manual. Semi's better. And then you go ahead and click on your healer. Mine is Aerith. We're going to focus here by switching between attack and defense. Make sure you let that fill up. Never switch to defense and then wait for this bar to fill up. Because if this little white line isn't full, you're going to be doing half damage bonus, right? You're going to see right now that defense mode, it doesn't matter how much this is depleted. It will always do the same mitigation. You're only switching to get the bonus heal. And then you're going back here. You can see physical damage dealt 25%, 25%, sigil break only +1. But if it fills up, which it's going to if you let it sit there, 50% bonus damage. Sigil breaking +2. Never just sit in defense mode, and that's going to help you kill these enemies quicker. But the idea here is target a bomb, burst it down, right? If you get to that point, use your healer to finish off the bomb ASAP. Always switch to defense mode for the big AoE attacks, but while you're attacking a bomb in manual or semi, stay in attack sigil so your AI constantly goes. Sometimes the AI is not smart, and you have to control them, so you're going to jump between all three of your characters and spam ice, ice, ice. Go to Barret, ice. Go to Cloud, ice. Go to Aerith, ice if you don't need to heal. My recommendation is kill one bomb, then kill the bird, then leave a bomb for last, right? You can also go bomb, bomb, then bird, but since it's more of a threat having all three up, once you take one of them down, take the bird. You can also do the bird first if you want to, because he is the biggest cause of damage here. So whatever one you're comfortable with, do it. Bomb first, bird second, bomb last, or go bomb, bomb, bird, or bird first and then bombs. That's that phase entirely. It took me a little bit to get through it, retrying over and over, but the idea is stay on your healer, switch to defense, heal, switch straight back to attack mode. Never let this diamond empty out on your attack, or you're going to lose a lot of damage there. So now that we're going to go through this, we beat him. Ifrit is here. This is where stuff gets crazy. So in this stream, I kind of just go over it to make sure I have everything ready, good to go, and I have the understanding, and I'm ready to go. So this phase, ignition comes up, and that's that bar up there. If this bar is full, he does more damage. If this bar is empty, he does less damage. There's no stunning him like Shiva. It's just the more this bar has, the more damage he's going to do to you, so you want to lower that bar ASAP. So during this first part, you're going to be using characters to lower the enemy's magic defense or physical defense, and you're just going to spam blizzards. You can save every limit break until he casts his ability. So you're going to see right here, we're just attacking, we're trying to get it down. For most people, that's going to be full already, like it is for me here, because my first attempt, and I don't have a strong setup. And then when he goes into this phase right here, he stops attacking after the third on his or fourth, and he goes into this ability. While he's casting this ability, he's no longer going to attack you. And that's important, because if he attacks you, that's what raises this bar up. And every time you use Blizzard, it raises that bar down, or lowers that bar down. So this is where you want to use all three limit breaks to get that 1.25 multiplier on your Shiva's whiteout. So Shiva's going to use whiteout here. This Shiva, this is like a level 1 whiteout, right? 9,651. You guys should be way stronger than me. Taking that bar down to half, any other damage you do is just bonus damage, and you can see that only ice affects it. So before this cast comes through, you're switching between all characters and spamming ice as much as you can. Put the physical defense down on Barret or whatever character, magic defense down, and just spam, spam, spam. And this before it goes, you switch to defense. And you should survive this charge. Taking 2,926. You can see my Barret almost died. If you rewind that as well, you'll notice above Barret's head over here, there's a little orange lock-on symbol. That's who Ifrit's gonna hit. What you can do is if you have a barrier just for one character, you can barrier the character that got targeted, and that way you can survive the hit on top of that. If your HP is not good enough, just bring in a character with barrier spell and barrier that one specific character so that charge won't kill them. So you can see no one else has that target except for Barret, because Ifrit's going to beat them up with that. So once you get through that phase, we're now going to go into the next phase, which is Incinerate. This is a couple things you got to keep in mind here, especially if you're playing manual, not auto. There's a Hellfire gauge slowly being filled up, right? And I showed you guys bringing in a Diamond Breaker and X Sigil Breaker. You can get through this phase without even worrying about Hellfire. You can skip this entirely if you break that fast enough. But here, you are specifically spamming all the X Sigils. And you can see my Cloud using Braver, which is a 4 ATB X Sigil Breaker. So I've got a really bad setup here, and I still managed to survive this. The reason I survived this Hellfire is the more sigils you break, the less Hellfire does. So don't pay any attention to this. Pay attention right here. Hellfire is about to be cast. So you got to switch to defense mode, and the more of these you break, the less Hellfire would do. So if this was at 0, it wouldn't do this much damage. You can see my character just getting ripped apart through half HP. Now, you want to get to the point where you can break this, because another Hellfire is going to show up, And if you broke both of these, you're past this phase and you're just DPSing through a free, very fast ATP fill up because he's stunned. But sadly for me, my setup's not that good. So you can see Incinerate is going to last the entire duration. You could use Sephiroth's Nameless 2 ATB to break that down. Only spam 3 ATB abilities and you can get through there. But I'm casting my Limit Break heal because I know I'm about to get hit by another Hellfire and my team's HP is nowhere near ready for another big hit. And of course I attempt to do that instead of healing my party. But Hellfire comes in, we survive the second one, and now we got to spend ATB healing this up, which we could be using our healer to do blizzards instead. So even though we didn't break the sigils, we're still here, we're still alive, and now we go into the next phase where Ifrit decides, okay, I'm going to try to take these guys down again. You have a little opportunity here to lower his defense and everything, so get that ready ahead of time. You can see I have 3 tiers down from Barrett's W machine, and same idea. He's going to use a Crimson Dive, which is now a big AoE attack. Now that you can see, Cloud has a target, Ifrit has a target on Barrett, everyone has a target because that Crimson Dive is going to hit everybody. So same idea here, while he's casting, you're going to use your limit breaks, all 3 of them to get that big 1.25 multiplier. If not, only 2 of them give you 1.10. I use Aerith ahead of time to survive, that's totally fine. If you had Red 13, you'd be using Lunatic High to raise your defense, or anyone else that raises your defense up to survive those hits. So we're trying again in this phase to lower that bar before this goes off. So getting full HP, embracing myself because I notice I'm not doing enough damage because my team's not that strong. And right before it goes off, I get it to about a quarter, which allows me again to survive. If that bar was bigger, look at that. Not. If you have 3,000 something HP, you're not surviving that. So have around 4,000 to really help for this fight. And this is the last phase. It is Rising Heat. He does not attack you. His bar is full. None of that's important. This is DPS. Get out of there. I switched to Barrett. I put the physical defense down, and then I just spam. Do not heal. Even if your characters are near death, do not heal in this phase. Let them stay dead because he doesn't attack you. So they can all have 1 HP. You're using your healer to spam Blizzard, you're using your DPS to spam Blizzard, and keeping that defense down. Whatever limit breaks you have, go for it. I just cast because I didn't know any better. This is my first time clearing it, but that's it. You're just going back and forth, spamming. I barely survive and make this, and that's my first clear. So hopefully that kind of gives you an understanding when to DPS, when to not. That is the final chance you have right there, because after that, you are going down. Well, that is pretty much everything. Hopefully something here helped you out. If nothing really clicked or you need a little bit more help, you can always check my links down below. My Discord community is very helpful. There's a Final Fantasy VII evercrisis channel there. Everything you need, co-ops, friend lists, definitely check it out. If you ever want to catch me live and ask me anything during my live streams or the chat that's with me, you're more than welcome to. Again, both of those links will be down below. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.